Any private sector player in agribusiness has to be concerned about food safety issues generally. And livestock and dairy are no different. Aflatoxins, the implications of aflatoxin, the prevalence around the world, and its possible negative health impacts, the impacts on trade are becoming more and more studied and more alarming. Anyone involved in the dairy industry has to be aware of the possible contamination with aflatoxin M1 of milk coming from bovine cattle. And they should be very concerned about what is increasingly becoming clear about the overall effects of aflatoxin, and specifically concerned about M1. So although everyone would hope that avoidance of the contamination would be the first line of defense, issues such as remediation through the use of binders and everything are also gaining much more attention. And although there's still a lot of work to be done, it certainly is a possible management tool, in addition to, and when it's not possible, to actually reduce the prevalence of M1 to begin with. But M1's effects on health are not as well known and are still being disputed. But if in fact it's anywhere near as serious as aflatoxin B1, it's going to become the subject of huge inquiry and concern from the public.
The mortality rate among chicken is the strongest evidence we have. Would you agree?
Yeah. Well, in commercial agriculture, there are other species such as ducks that are more susceptible, and pigs or swine is somewhere here even, but the most palpable and obvious effects on feed conversion, on death of young chicks and so on, you see in chickens. So that's an example of all the damage that aflatoxins generally can do to the livestock industry. And although it isn't so obvious in the case of cows or milk, it's still a problem. And just as the poultry industry is responding in various ways, I think that the milk industry has to be proactive and respond as well to both, because it's a strong business case. You will lower costs and you will have much less waste, but also, of course, protecting the consumers that you're feeding. Well, I think that the chicken feed industry globally, in countries where aflatoxin is already known to be a problem in feed, is already taking proactive steps, including the exploration or actual use of different kinds of binders. But they would prefer, of course, to have a product that already is below the tolerance level for aflatoxin in feedstuffs. But when they can't get sufficient product, then they're considering other alternatives, including the use of binders. But that has an economic cost, which raises the cost of doing business. And if that implicit cost could be used to prime the pump on achieving premium raw materials that had no contamination at all, that would probably be preferable.